By the time 19-year-old Michelle Rhodes was admitted to hospital, she was already gravely ill. Then a junior doctor sent her home, a decision her mother says cost Michelle her life, and she is determined to hold the hospital to account.
I don't have my daughter. No mother, no parent should go through this. I'm actually living every parent's nightmare.
It's been more than 2 years since teenager Michelle Rhodes took her last breath lying in a hospital bed.
You take your children to hospital, you put faith in them, and I didn't get to bring Michelle home. She died.
It's taken this long for Michelle's mother, Jeannie, to muster the strength to demand answers.
So I don't want this to happen again. And I'm still in disbelief, still in shock. I can't even think what to do most of the time.
I've never seen a more shattered family than the Rhodes family.
Michelle died from invasive meningococcal disease at Gosford Hospital in August 2018.
To lose a child, particularly in the way that they've lost that child, how do you get over it?
Michelle had just returned from this skiing trip. The next day, she went to work.
Our boss rang and I got there, and when I looked at her, she was so unwell, and I called an ambulance straight away.
And Jeannie Rhodes then helped her daughter to a nearby doctor's surgery.
She was so unwell. She was yelling at me, "Mum, hold my neck up. I can't hold my head up." She could hardly walk. I had to hold her up with one arm.
An ambulance arrived soon after to get her to Gosford Hospital. Michelle was prioritised for treatment and seen by a doctor.
He was a junior doctor. She saw her, and then they gave her some medication. I don't know what they gave her. Then they discharged us. They gave me a discharge letter, and I read it. I read it later. It said meningitis. If they knew it was meningitis, why did they discharge her?
As they were leaving the hospital, Jeannie was handed a blister pack of household painkillers to give to Michelle.
This is the tablets the hospital gave us for her to have if she felt unwell.
They're the tablets?
They're the tablets. I used 2 on the night. She had 2.
By next morning, Michelle's condition had worsened. Panicking, Jeannie drove her daughter back to Gosford Hospital. By this stage, the medical team had the results of Michelle's blood tests from the previous day.
They knew it was meningococcal. I wish they would have rang me in the middle of the night and said, "It's meningococcal, bring her back."
But they didn't ring you?
They didn't ring me.
All Jeannie could do was hold her daughter's hand.
She said to me, "I heard doctors said I'm dying."
I'm sorry.
And then she said to me, "Mama, don't cry." And then she went into cardiac arrest. She died in front of my eyes. And I can't forget that. I sleep at night. I see her eyes saying, "Mama, save me." Can't save her. I couldn't save her.
Michelle had been a happy, healthy teenager. A fitness fanatic, she dreamed of one day becoming a police officer. Jeannie hasn't had the will or the strength to change a thing in Michelle's bedroom.
That's when she was about 6 months old.
Every wall in the family's New South Wales Central Coast home displaying a fond memory.
That's her handbag?
That's Michelle's handbag.
And you haven't moved it? That's...
I haven't moved anything that she left in the house. I don't like moving her things that she's touched or left.
Michelle Rhodes' family believed she'd be properly cared for here at Gosford Hospital, but they claim the hospital breached its duty of care, and that led to her death.
They are responsible. They're responsible for Michelle's death. Yep, I hold them accountable for it.
It's a significant failure to properly treat young Michelle.
Lawyer Danny Eade has taken up the case, suing the local health district for damages.
There were classic features of photophobia, fever, lethargy, rigours, severe headaches.
Mr Eade says the junior doctor didn't do the appropriate tests, despite indicators that Michelle was in serious trouble.
She was seen by a doctor. The doctor suspected meningitis, but they failed to do the necessary tests to exclude it.
Do you believe that if she would have received the appropriate treatment in the first place, she'd still be here with you?
Yeah, she would be here. I know Michelle's death was avoidable. They shouldn't have discharged her.
I'm sorry, you've had to relive all this, I'm sorry.
I want her to be remembered. She had a name, Michelle Rhodes.
Oh, that's just devastating. We contacted the Central Coast Local Health District, which runs Gosford Hospital. It extends its deepest condolences to Michelle's family, but is unable to comment further while legal proceedings are underway.